Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Who's Stuff. Now this week it's my solo video and I am going to be going through all of the most of the TARDIS interiors and ranking them. So these are the 14 that I have selected. I may have missed one or two and I'm very sorry if I have, but these were the main sort of 14 that I got. So there's the 60s ones, Jon Pertwee's, Tom Baker's, the season 14 one, this one which I'm struggling to describe a little bit, the 80s one, the TV movie, the War Doctors, the 10th Doctors, the 11th Doctors, the second 11th Doctors, 12th Doctors, Jodie's, and the Ruth Doctors. So sorry if I've missed one, but today we're just going to be ranking them on worst to best. So let's start off in last place. Sadly, I've got the series 15 to 20 console. Now this console is quite nice, or this console room is quite nice, but when we're actually judging it down to the console itself, you can tell it's quite low budget. It isn't the nicest looking, it's quite plain in places, and it looks just like a really bad fan project. But it's okay, but it did last for quite a while, so that's why it's in 14th. In 13th we've got the TV movie console. Now, I don't know, it's a bit weird ranking this one so low, because I know a lot of people do like it, but as a console room, I'm not a big fan of, you know, it being in this massive room. I prefer it to be quite a condensed room. But the console itself is nice, I do like the blue. I think that works really nicely, and it fits, so it's good, but it's not one of my favourites. In 12th place we've got the current TARDIS room, the Whittaker console. At first I was like, and in series 11 it did look quite bad. The big orange pillar things are quite unattractive, and it's just a bit messy and organic, and it's not one of my favourites. It improved in series 12 a bit, but not by much. I do like the addition of like the stairs now they have, and a few other bits. But it's definitely not going to be up there. In 11th spot, this is going to be controversial now, we have the 2005 to 2009 console. Yeah, I know a lot of people love this for nostalgia reasons, but for me it doesn't really work. It's a bit too clunky, messy, it's just not very clean. It's a bit all over the place, and the wires hanging down from the ceiling aren't my sort of thing, and the console itself is a bit clunky and just quite unpleasant, but it's okay, and it's quite big, and I guess a little bit of nostalgia does help this move up in the ranking a little bit. In 10th spot we have Pertwee's console. Now this is a really nice one actually, apart from the big roundel bowl things at the side of the room. The console itself looks lovely, and Pertwee definitely suits it. But the big chunky bowl things, they're just a little bit silly, but you know, they're fun, and it's very 70s, isn't it? So I'll give it points for that. In 9th spot we have the War Doctors console. So this is a mixture of the last two, in my opinion. It's got the nice roundels at the back, which are really nice, but then it has got the wires hanging down from the ceiling, and the console itself it resembles the 10th Doctor's and the 9th Doctor's a little bit, which I'm not a fan of. So it's a nice console for the roundels and a bit, but it can't go any further in the ranking. In 8th spot we have the Series 7B console, which was used by Matt Smith in his latter years as the Doctor. This is really nice, spacious, open, everything about it is just quite cool. The only thing that lets it down for me is the sort of the light blue. I much prefer Capaldi's gold, and you'll see where that is in the ranking later. The blue doesn't really work for me, and when I think of this console, you know, I think Matt Smith's first console room was a lot better. In 7th spot we have the series 12 to 13 console, which was used by Tom Baker briefly in his first couple of seasons. Yeah, this is really nice, really bog standard, but really good. The roundels are just perfect, and the console itself is simple but effective. and there is nothing that really lets this one down apart from the fact that the other 6 on this ranking are better. In 6th spot we have Matt Smith's first console. Now for me this is the most nostalgic because when I became a Doctor Who fan in 2010, this was the new console at the time. I have a play set of this where I put my figures and stuff, so it's got loads of nostalgia for me. But as a console room itself, it is really nice. Yeah, the console is actually quite clunky, and that's why it isn't further up on this list, but the orange is really nice. Orange is one of my favourite colours anyway, and it's really different, really unlike anything we've seen before it. And the retro scanner, it's just really cool for me, so that's why it's at number 6. Number 5 we have the season 14 console. Yeah, this might be controversial again, but with the recent release of the season 14 Blu-ray, I've come to appreciate this a lot more. I've watched The Mask of Mandragora recently as well, where this was introduced, and it's just a really nice room, really cosy and quite Edwardian, and it's so different but really ambitious, I'd say. The console itself is really small, but it works. It's just a nice little panel. It's got no big pillar or anything, and I love how retro everything looks, and it just works for me. So that's why it's at number 5. Number 4. We have the 1960s console room. I do apologise for this. A little... There we go. All gone. The 1960s console room. Yeah, this was the first, so what can I say? You have to appreciate it. It's set up for everything to come. It's got the beautiful roundels, really spacious, maybe a bit too spacious you could argue, and it's got the nice chairs, just a little bit of decoration which I think we're missing in the modern era. And the TARDIS itself is really cute, and the doors, I love the doors as well. It's just really nice console. In 3rd place, we're going into the top 3 now, we have the Ruth Doctor's console room. Now, this was only briefly featured in Fugitive of the Judoon, and I'm not a big fan of that episode as it is, but this was the highlight. Seeing this beautiful console room. It was basically the 60s one, but with the beautiful blue roundels and the lights. It just so lovely. I mean, why Jodie Whittaker couldn't have this console room, I don't know. And she had to have that horrible organic one, but oh, could you imagine if the 13th Doctor had this console room? It would have been so awesome, so awesome. And number 2, we have the 1980s console. This is just so iconic, so iconic. The 5th Doctor, the 6th Doctor and the 7th Doctor all travelled in this, and it's so lovely, very 80s. It's probably the brightest one there. The roundels are really bright and energetic and lively. The console itself is one of my favourites, I'd say. I mean, the shape of it is just so intriguing and cool, and look at it, it's just great. What isn't there to love? And in number 1, you've probably figured this out by now, it's the amazing 12th Doctor's console room. Now this is just, oh, I love it. The orangey fireness in it is just so cool. Capaldi suits this one to a T, and everything about it is just awesome. I love the sort of second level of the stairs that you can go up, and the panels here, yeah, like these, and the little things on the floor. The detail on it is amazing, and what is not to love? So there you go, everyone. That was my quick TARDIS interior ranking design. So, whew, I'd love to know your TARDIS interior ranking design in the comments, or just maybe your least favourite and your favourite, that would do. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Who Stuff, because it's amazing and I love working on it with the 4 other lads in the group. So there we go. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and be sure to stick around for the next group video, which will be coming next Friday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.